Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
All right, welcome in. Hey, you're on the wrong one, Jason. No, you know what? You're not, man. Check this out. Watch this. This is because Karen was here yesterday. This is the joy of live production. You never know. It's like, look, hold on, man. There you go.
I put on the headset you told me to put on.
I just wanted you to be. I wanted you to be off for a little bit.
You wanted me to be off for a little bit. I'm off. I was born off.
You ain't been here in a while, man.
No, I just missed 1 week.
No, you act like you've been busy, man.
I was busy.
Man, 80 hours a week ain't nothing, dude.
Okay, well, you know.
No, I know you've been very busy. Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
I like the blue, brother.
Yeah.
How have you been? What's been going on in the world of Jason Thompson?
You know, just trying to get by, brother.
Yeah, man. I know Billy's been keeping you busy, and you've been busy at Guardian Defense.
Yeah, staying busy.
Everything's going good.
Well, for as good as we can expect, yeah.
Have y'all had any shows lately, too? I was going to ask that, man. It's been
No, the show thing is kind of dead, you know, so I pulled the reins back on that. We're still doing them in Conroe, so we've got show weekend, the 14th, 15th, somewhere in there.
I was thinking about, why is Huntsville? Has Huntsville ever had a show?
They have. They had some years ago, but the facilities weren't the best, especially for like internet service, and that's really hard to do without internet.
Yeah, now it's good over there at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, but the fairgrounds stay so booked up that they're booked out for a couple of years.
Well, I know, things are rocking and rolling for a lot of folks. Jason, you've been busy. It's good to be here. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. And do us a huge favor. Let us know you're there this morning as we get rolling here on another great day, another exciting episode, 443.
443.
I think I'm going to retire at 500, so 7 more, and then I'm going to call it quit. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm not
whatever.
doing that, man.
Whatever.
443, so we are 7 away from 450. We appreciate all of you, Huntsville, for hanging out with us and being a part of this program. And as always, big shout out to Elliot's Jewelers. Elliot Herzlick, he's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. Go see my good friend Elliot Herzlick. We're working on our annual benefit for CASA. We'll have more information on that. We're also working on our Share the Love campaign that we will be having. Coming? Going good, man. We're coordinating. We're trying to have that over at Brookshire Brothers this year.
Okay.
And I was hoping to get information out last week, but we're still trying to secure the spot to have that donation drive-through. So
that'd be good.
That'll be for senior citizens. In fact, we have 2 folks here at First that come from the Parkview Place Apartments over to church now. Met a lady on Friday, very sweet. Her name is Miss Curtis, and I just can't wait to get to know her more and hear more of her story. Just a tremendous lady here in our community. There's another gentleman that I've connected with, and we want to bless those people over there, not just at Parkview Place Apartments, but also over at the senior villages of Huntsville. These are folks that have just tremendous stories and got a heart for our senior citizens here. That's what I love about Huntsville, man. We have such a big heart thanks to Tara Burnett, no pun intended, Hearts Veterans Museum,
right?
The heart of Huntsville, as we call her. And then folks just really want to get involved and help out in all areas. And that's, maybe that's the inspiration this morning, is we always try to have something as we get going in the morning, is just be thankful for the community that we live in, the opportunities that we have to give back every day, and just be aware. It fits in perfect. Jason always says, be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, you got to be aware.
I'm not going to take it from a security standpoint this morning, but be aware of your surroundings and the fact that you can help somebody out. Tie into that, Jason. It does have a little bit of a security. Yeah. Ever since I met you years ago, man, my head's on a swivel, man.
Yeah, you'd be surprised if you open your eyes what you can do to help people.
And if you need help moving, Jason Thompson, Guardian Defense Moving Company, now open.
Yeah, why not?
I won't go into details, but Guardian Defense Transport Company.
Yeah.
Making a 5-hour round trip some days. So
like today.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Is the Guardian Defense Medical Company on the way?
Hey, you never know, man. We're going to branch out, diversify.
Yeah, there you go.
Like you do with your stock portfolio, diversify.
You got to diversify your bonds, man.
That's
what they used to say. Well, if you don't know Jason's story, here's the reason I said it. It's Guardian Defense. We are here. Big thank you to Guardian Defense for our foundation sponsorship on Tuesdays. We call it a Tactical Tuesday, but also a terrific Tuesday. And Jason and the Thompson family, we appreciate them. If you don't know Jason, here's the deal and why I said his business is Guardian Defense,
right?
Which is a security business. They have a awesome gun range outside of town, all about personal safety and taking care of you and your family. But Jason helped me move 5 times.
I did,
and I didn't ask him those last.
No,
4.
I just came.
He just showed up. They came all the way to Georgetown. We first moved to Huntsville, brought the trailer, helped us move.
I did.
And then when we decided to, and then we moved we moved from Brookview over to our house.
Right.
You helped us move.
Right.
Then when we packed up and went to Fargo, you helped us load up.
Right.
Then when we came back from Fargo,
we helped you unload.
You helped me unload. Then you helped me unload the storage unit, man.
Yeah.
So that's why we joke around saying it should be Guardian Defense Moving Company as well.
That's what it should be. Yeah.
I had something come by the inbox the other day, and it was really, man, what's weird is I had a dream about this the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, and when you think about things, you dream about things sometimes. And I very rarely remember many of my dreams. But I had an email fly through my inbox the other day from a kind of a sports talent agency that I'm still a member of, even though I'm not really pursuing that anymore. And the Tennessee Titans, their radio guy has retired.
Okay.
And so I got an email from a colleague that said, you really need to apply for this opportunity. And, man, I got all excited when I saw that. And I was like, man, this is – and then I started thinking, no, because God brought us back here for a reason.
Right.
To be in Huntsville. I love what we're doing here at First. I love what other churches in our community are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't feel at peace about it.
Okay.
And I've learned in life – it's okay to get excited and have dreams, but you also have to be at peace about some of those things.
Right.
And if your gut is telling you no, then you got to listen to that gut.
You do have to listen to your gut.
And, for us, my gut told me, go to Fargo, and that's why we went and spent a year up there, and it was a great opportunity. But then when we had Caden, or we found out we were having Caden, our second child, we knew that we had to come back. And so, go with your gut. There could be this huge door that you think is going to open. I mean, that would have been a tremendous opportunity. I wouldn't have gotten it. I mean, there's probably 50 other guys that would have applied to that. I said it about NDSU, and we were blessed to get that. But I just felt like, as cool as that would be, that would take away every reason
that you came back here
that we came back here to Huntsville for. We came back first to be with family.
Right.
I think outside of your relationship with the Lord, family's most important. You gotta be there for your family. We were 1,200 miles away.
Right.
I'm sorry, but the video chat and the phone calls to Mama don't do it.
They just don't do it.
No, you gotta
I've been
physically hug Mama.
I've been there.
You're lucky. You got Mama Pat, man.
Now.
Yeah, she's not in Goodyear anymore.
No, she used to be.
She's here in good old.
And
Huntsville,
before Goodyear, she was in Alameda, California.
Wow. Did that area get hit? Do you know, by all those devastating fires in that area?
I don't think they got hit in Alameda, but because it was more around the Los Angeles area, and that's further north.
Yeah, man, just tough, to think about that. I was actually thinking about you because I know you've been here forever, but do you still have family back in that area?
Aunt Dodie's brother and sister live outside of L.A.
Okay.
And their family.
And they were okay, though, everything?
I think so, as far as I heard.
So yeah, I just think go with your gut. Your gut's going to tell you the right thing to do. I believe as a believer, I believe it's a prompt in the Holy Spirit sometimes, but I didn't feel at peace about it. I started thinking, man, I was like, oh, this will be cool. That was my dream back in the day, was to go through that and then eventually be in the NBA or the NFL. That was like the career path, right?
Right.
And thought we were on our way to that. And then things change, and I step back and I look at it and I say, this was a good thing. I got up this morning, my little boy, Bridget, he was crying at like 5:30. Bridget got him, put him in the bed, and I was sitting there snuggling my little boy, and I'm sitting there thinking, this is what life's about. Mm-hmm. My little girl the other day, Bridget was gone. She went to work yesterday, had a 12-hour shift that turned into a 14-hour shift, as it commonly does in the nursing industry. And my little girl jumped in. She's 3 years old now. Braylon's a little over 3, and she came and woke me up. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is what it's about, man. Mm-hmm. As fun as all that sports stuff was back in the day, we were traveling.
Well, it sure beats waking up in a motel room, doesn't it?
Well, we woke up in some. When you're blessed to call it like a different level, you wake up in pretty nice hotel rooms.
Oh, okay.
So when we first started, we were staying like, when I was doing high school stuff, and we were traveling.
Motel 6, baby.
Brother, we were staying at like the University Plaza. I hope there's no place called the University Plaza, by the way, because I'm not knocking any place called that. But let's just say when there's like green in the drain, man, and you're wanting to get a different room somewhere. That's how we started out. But it was cool, Sam, and it was fun because it was like free travel, right? That was the coolest part of it. But at NDSU, we had two opportunities that were really tremendous, and I'll never take them for granted. They had the football team always chartered flights. Whenever you went with basketball and baseball, you always flew commercial because they were smaller and it cost a lot more. But there was 2 times that one of them we flew into Terre Haute, Indiana, and it was really cool because they had chartered a small jet for the basketball team. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool. I'm going to tell you, man, this was what do they call those, like a turboprop, twin turboprop? I don't know the aviation industry, but the ones with the big propellers on it.
It was a prop plane.
Yeah. So one time we chartered a prop plane. One time we had a jet.
Really? The
prop plane on a small one, not fun.
Why?
It's like, when you're on a cruise ship, man, you don't feel anything. Mm-hmm. When you're on a little tiny Cessna, I went up with David Beatty the other day, man, you feel everything. Now, David's a good pilot, and it was a beautiful day.
I'm glad because I'm going up with David pretty soon.
Well, it was what do they call it? Like, I forget what VFR, like there's like IFR and VFR. You flew VFR that day because the visual, because everything was so clear.
Right.
You kind of tag along the interstate. Well, man, when we were in that prop plane, even though it was cool and it was chartered, I'd never been so scared in my life of being on a plane.
Why?
Every bump you felt, man.
Oh.
And you're like this.
You're being weak.
No, dude. And even
and
some of those boys.
That's the fun part about it.
Some of these guys, they had these kids. It's really cool for the kids because they get an opportunity. I say kids; these are young men. Playing college basketball. It's cool for them because they've never flown before, a lot of them.
Yeah, some of them probably never have.
So some of them never been in, a plane that small. They'd flown commercially with the team, but not in the little one. And I remember this dude next to me, his knuckles had turned pure white.
Really?
And he's like, man, are we all right, man? And
You didn't brown and white him?
No, I didn't want to do that, man.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I wouldn't want anybody to do that to me. And, it's especially now, you think about the tragedies that we have had. And I didn't even realize this. In San Antonio in December, there was a small aircraft that crashed on a highway. Didn't even know about that.
Really? I
And
didn't hear about it.
everybody was okay on that. That one didn't make the big news. It was still a larger aircraft as far as like, it wasn't like a little tiny Cessna, but it was still a larger multi-passenger airplane. And then, you go back to the tragic events that happened starting in D.C. and then again in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And when all that happened, I started thinking of my good friend Jerry Schimmel, who was on United 88 back in 1989, the one that crashed there. And, 120 people tragically lost their lives, and Jerry survived that. And I'm going to tell you, if you have a chance to read Jerry's biography and just you can't even imagine.
No.
And I pray to God that I'll never go through that, and that anyone I know will never go through that. But Jerry he described it this way. He said, everybody in their own life experiences a plane crash. And he goes, mine was just physically a crash. But he goes, everybody has experienced a plane crash in some way in their life. And he said, you've got to find a way to have strength and be around people that are going to lift you up and encourage you and realize that you have a purpose in life. And that event that he went through, as you can imagine, a terrible depression for a long time. And ended up coming out of that, became a Christian through the whole thing and really sought the Lord. And now he's an inspiration to so many people. He's written a book about it and been on a documentary. And I'm going to tell you, just a good guy. We had him on this program. I don't know if you remember when we first started, we had him via Zoom.
Really?
On the program, and he shared that story. And here's the reason why you always need to be aware of your surroundings, right? So I was calling a college basketball tournament in New Mexico. Here's this guy sitting next to me, and I'm frustrated. When you call games on the radio, you don't want to be literally like, this was him, this was me. Like, this guy ain't my analyst. What's he doing sitting right next to me, man? And I don't say it like in a rude way, but if you're calling a game, I don't want your play calling bleeding into my microphone and vice versa.
Right.
It's a rule in radio and sports break. You don't put two people from opposing teams right next to each other.
Right.
Well, they did. And so we kind of were like this, calling the game. But we ended up talking and chatting. We got along great. And I had no idea who it was. And we were chatting, and he had told me, he's like, yeah, I call games for the Colorado Rockies, and I've done some stuff before for the Denver Nuggets. He's like, I was calling their basketball games. And I was like, man, this guy's a really cool guy. And it was, it was just a guy I was looking up to big time.
Right.
And so I went back, and when I got back to the hotel, I Googled his name. And then that's when I found, I was like, man, he didn't even tell me the story about this plane crash. And that's how people knew him, outside of the sports world.
Right.
And I never brought it up. We became friends. I never brought it up to him. And then one day he started telling me about it.
Well, that's cool.
And so, yeah, just, be aware of your surroundings, communicate, say hello to somebody. If I would have never said hello to Jerry, would have never developed that friendship.
Right.
And that's all you got to do is just reach out an arm, help somebody, and be there for them. Well, Jason, a lot going on today. We do want to welcome in everybody as well. Quite a few folks are already joining us. Do us a favor and hit like and share if you don't mind. And if you're on the social media platforms, we're on 3 different Facebook platforms this morning, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. We're also broadcasting on YouTube as well as the Spirit Radio FM app. And so we want to welcome all of you in this morning. And if you'll say hello to us, we'll take a little bit of time at the end of the show because Jason has to leave a little bit later, and I'm going to be bored for the last 15 minutes. So we'll make sure we say hello to everybody on the back end of the show. But we do want to welcome you and thank y'all for being here. We do, besides just Jason and I hanging out today, we do have some guests that are joining us here on the show. We're very excited to speak with some of our friends here in just a few moments. And so we will let you know who that is here in just a minute when we come back. So let's take a quick break. Jason will hop off, and we have our keyword flowing today. We don't have the keyword.
We haven't come up with it.
No, I haven't come up with it. I was going to make it love, but we're gonna wait till next week for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
By the way, Friday, I have this beautiful $85 value gift basket that our good friend Miss Deborah Wyan put together. And so, guys, if you're in the doghouse and you've been thinking about what can I do for Valentine's Day, you can start
I know
texting.
what I'm going to be doing Friday, watching the show and texting.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not in a doghouse, but we'll be texting.
Well, text in. You can go ahead and enter to win that prize. Remember, you can text in every day. Even though we don't have a keyword, you can still text in your name on the Zero Degree Creations phone and text line. That number, 936-339-0139. Just text in your name to 936-339-0139. Today, we're not giving away any Valentine stuff, but our friends at Cafe Texan hooked us up with a few more gift cards this month.
Awesome.
$25 to Cafe Texan. So breakfast on us. We'll call the winner at the end of the show. For now, though, we'll step aside. We'll take a break. Our guests join us when we come back. Make sure to stay with us. It is Good Morning Huntsville here on a Tactical Tuesday. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Huntsville Executive Office Suites. Elevate your business image with prestigious move-in ready suites ranging from 150 to 3,000 square feet. Enjoy conference and training rooms, furnished and unfurnished options, custom build-outs, phone service, and a welcoming lobby. Coffee bar and dining area included for tenants. Benefit from 24/7 secure access and flexible lease terms. Located on Lake Road. Move-in begins in January. Contact Raven Property Management at 936-225-4378.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 $100,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover tomorrow's promise Montessori schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
All right, Huntsville, welcome back out as we continue on this morning. We appreciate everybody for joining us on a beautiful Tuesday, waking up. Don't even feel like February outside as the temperatures rise. I woke up this morning, I said, man, does it feel like summer's starting to kick in? How about 70 degrees as you're getting up today? 79, almost 80. Be partly sunny today, tonight. A little fog, 65. Tomorrow, 78. It's going to be beautiful throughout the rest of the week. We'll have highs. Boy, check this out. On Saturday, how about 82 degrees? Man, Kyle Kreiner's in the studio. He's flashing 90. I'm about to may have to flash him out of here in a minute if he starts speaking about that 90. So, hey, we want to welcome you back in. As always, thanks for hanging out with us. And we're so excited. You know, we get to meet so many wonderful people in our community. And I love doing this show because we get to highlight the good happening in Huntsville. And one thing that we're very passionate about is helping to promote business and small business and just folks who are making a difference. And I'm so excited today, some folks that have reached out to me to welcome in from At Your Side Home Care, joining us today, our good friends, the Naki family here. And I get to say family because it's cool. It's a husband-wife team, and Alta's joining us, and Ali. It's good to have you guys. How are y'all doing today?
Good. Doing well.
Yeah,
Enjoying the weather.
We got to speak on the phone, but just like I was saying earlier, it's different when you get to talk to somebody in person.
Exactly. Right.
So
the same way.
When I talked to y'all on the phone the first time, I said, I feel like I've known these guys for a long time. And I just love what y'all do. You know, anytime you're providing care, my wife is a nurse, and my mother was a nurse. She was an LVN for almost 40 years. And I've always said there's two groups of people that I especially have a big heart for, and that's teachers and those that are involved in any type of home care and health care. And that's exactly what you guys do. I want to talk about the business here in just a few moments, but Alta, I'll start with you. Just let us know a little bit about kind of your story, and I know you guys were from New York City at first, and then came to Conroe, and then y'all found good old Huntsville, Texas, and we're glad to have you. So let's know a little bit about kind of your story and your journey, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. So we're married, and he kind of came to Texas for a job, and he's been here for almost 8 years, and I came crawling 4 years later during COVID. And we lived in Conroe first, and we fell in love with Huntsville. So we built a house here, and we've been here for 3 years now.
Wonderful. Well, you know, it's a great place to be. This whole area, so beautiful. When y'all were talking about New York City on the phone, I love that because I'd never been to the city. Right. I'd been up north, up there. I guess they call it the Adirondacks. Am I saying that right? The mountain area and like Utica and all that area, New Hartford. But Ollie, a beautiful area. You guys are getting to be here now. Let us know kind of a little bit about your story, if you don't mind, and maybe what brought you to Conroe.
So back in 2017, I was offered a position with a corporation here in Houston, and I thought it was a wonderful opportunity for me to move. And we always wanted to be in Texas. Having a military background, it was a very military-friendly state, and Alta had talked about, moving to Texas at some point in the future. And when that opportunity came up, we just jumped at it. Alta couldn't move right away, so it was in the future plans to have her come down. And like she mentioned, it was during COVID when she moved. Well, that was a fun story because it was during the lockdown. And I could not fly, so I drove from Conroe all the way to New York City.
Oh, man.
To pick her up. And we loaded the car, top and bottom, everything. And we started driving back, and it was a fun trip. And along the ways, we were like, hey, is the border going to be closed in that state? So we got to go around.
Yeah.
I think at the time, Louisiana was closed coming into Texas. So we came through different pathway at that point. But we made it. And Alta was pregnant at the time with our son. So it was a joyful trip that we had.
I was just about to ask, where the child came into play. Was he in the middle of all this? And he was.
Yes. He was.
He is a COVID baby.
Well, again, we just appreciate y'all. It's so great to have you here in this community now in Huntsville. You guys are all in. You're giving back. You're helping out. You have a heart for serving others. First and foremost, Ollie, I want to say thank you for your service. I know you served in the Army and HR for over 10 years, and man, that is such a selfless sacrifice, man. And so I just wanted to say thank you. My father was in the military. My grandfather was at World War II, second wave at D-Day, and I thought I was going down that path. I wanted to join the Air Force, and my dad had kind of steered me. He said, hey, go pursue this for now, and if that door ever comes up. So I just want to say thank you for that first and foremost.
Thank you.
You're here in Huntsville. You guys tell us about the business idea. When did this idea for At Your Side Home Care start? Who kind of brought it to the table?
That was my crazy idea.
Okay.
So the company that I was working for had decided to downsize, and we wanted a little bit more stability and something of our own. But we also wanted to make sure that we were doing something that aligned with our service commitment to our community. So that's where the idea of home care came into play. And Alta had been taking care of her mom, which is why she moved later than earlier. Her mom had been diagnosed with cancer, so she was taking care of her full time. But once she recovered and went into remission, that's when we decided to make that move to officially bring her to Texas. So we always had this service mindset, this care, mindset in our belief system. So at that point, that's where the idea of home care came about. We did a lot of research on what were the needs of the community. And one thing we found that was lacking here was home care. And providing in-home services that people needed, especially the elder population that we're seeing that there's a lot of in the Houston proper area, as well as the veteran population. Veterans are very near and dear to my heart, and we service a lot of them. And we work very closely with the Veteran Museum here as well, Tara. So that's where the idea was formed to kind of get into the home care business. But we didn't really know how to go about it, so we started doing a lot of research on the best companies to partner with, so to speak. And we found Comfort Care that was a franchise. And we completely vetted them, went through their process, spoke to a lot of owners that were already in existence here in the Houston area. The oldest owner that we found has been around for about 20 years.
That's great.
So there was a lot of commitment as well as transparency into the business, and we got to know their challenges. The closest location was out of the Woodlands, So we did a lot of due diligence as to what the care needs are around the Houston area as well as greater Houston area. So we didn't just come into this blindfolded. We did a lot of research, and that kind of prepped us into providing the right type of care and addressing the needs of not just the community, but the caregivers. I think those are often forgotten about throughout the process. A lot of caregivers, they need care themselves oftentimes. There is a true thing as caregiver burnout. And when we first launched, that was at the forefront of how we are going to address that. And how are we going to retain more employees? And, we implemented a lot of programs very early on in the business where we included a lot of benefits. We included a lot of just kind of incentivizing programs to provide our caregivers, but also making sure that, they had the resources once they were burnt out that they can reference to seek care for themselves as well in the right way. We've had tremendous amount of caregivers that have still been with us since the very beginning, since we launched in 2023. And we're very proud of that because that shows commitment, that shows that we're doing the right thing. And, we've created over, I would say, since launch, over 150 plus jobs.
Wow, that's great.
Hourly contingent here in the Huntsville area. Also including Riverside and Trinity, because we do service out that way as well. So we cover a lot of area in this Walker County territory that we have. So just kind of going along those lines, while we're looking for local caregivers, that provides that local experience to our clients as well. And that reduces a lot of call-outs. It reduces a lot of client anxiety of, am I going to have someone today, right? And it also provides the client something different, which is support from myself and Alta. That's where we can jump in when they have issues or they have a complaint. We can show up, as soon as we can, most likely on the same day. There's no, hey, you've got to schedule time with me sometime this week to show up. If there is a concern, we will show up,
We're extremely involved in the business. We split clients. We're very attentive to our clients and our caregivers because they can't care for our clients unless we care for them as well. So that's our motto. So that's what we bring to the table. That's very different.
I know one thing that I always say, and we're blessed to speak with a lot of folks here on this program, and I love hearing the stories. And there's a common theme, and I've mentioned it, and I'll continue to mention it, that when you're passionate about what you do, it shows. You two are so passionate about what you do that it shows, and it's not just because you're here and talking. And I've seen it. I go to the website, I can see it there. I've seen what you've put out on social, and especially when you're in a service industry such as helping others, you have to be compassionate. I mean, that's one thing that, as I was browsing through your website, it says meaningful, compassionate, empowering, better care starts here. There's programs that you guys are also offering to help out in different things. I wanted you to talk about, kind of lead into the GUIDE program that we had discussed the other day.
Yes, so GUIDE was launched July 1st of 2024. It's a CMS program, Medicare, and essentially it stands for Guiding in Improved Dementia Experience, and it's for those who have traditional A and B Medicare as their primary. So essentially with that program, what they're doing is if you do or don't have a dementia diagnosis, they are providing services like support for those that are caring for individuals with dementia. So what they're providing is up to $2,500 per their calendar year, which is July 1st through June 30th, and it's an 8-year pilot program. And you want to add anything else to that?
Yeah, I mean, with that program, the goal is to provide respite services, to provide relief to those that are providing 24/7 caregiving to someone with dementia. And what we often say is that when there's no cure, there's only care. And in this case, it completely applies to that aspect of someone caring for dementia. And, they say often that when the way to put yourself in someone's shoes who's caring for someone with dementia is think about standing for 24 hours and not sitting down and see how you would feel. And that's what it's like to take care of someone with dementia, because you have to be on high alert. There's always risk of them wandering, injuring themselves, and not being fully aware of their surroundings. So, a lot of caregivers, family caregivers, get truly burnt out. And this is one way, and I'm glad that CMS has finally recognized that there is a true need for this. Even though it's kind of constrained right now because of traditional Medicare and not allowing Medicare Advantage programs to participate. However, if you have a supplement plan, but Medicare is your primary and not the supplement, you can still qualify. And what we tell everyone is, let us submit you and let them determine whether you qualify or not. We're not the ultimate approving authority. All we can do is provide the respite services where we would send our caregiver to provide relief. So that's really the intention of this program, is to make sure that caregivers have some type of support program. In addition to respite, they get 24/7 support through CMS, which is great because that also includes educational materials, because oftentimes families may not be aware of what actually is dementia, right? And they include that educational piece where they're providing resources, they're providing educational flyers and things of that nature to educate the family. There's also a social work aspect to this program where they get access to a social worker to help them locate local resources. So there's a lot included in this program aside from just respite. One thing I want to be totally transparent about is that it does require a lot of patience to go through this program, because obviously it is a government-funded program, and like any other government-funded program, it's not going to be.
There's no bureaucracy there.
There's no
super no.
It's not submit and approve, right? It's not that way. It's submit, wait, and then go through the process.
Yeah.
There's quite a few assessments involved. There's an initial one for the eligibility. Then there's a nurse practitioner eligibility assessment. That's where they can actually make a determination on whether the person has dementia or not. So you don't actually need a diagnosis through a neurologist. The companies that we work with, they can actually make the diagnosis through their nurse practitioners. And we're only partnered as a third-party vendor to provide these services. And the families are not charged for this program at all if they qualify and get through the program. They will never see an invoice from us. We invoice the third party directly, who submit that to CMS. So, it's just, it never hurts to try to get to see if you can qualify.
Yeah. If there's opportunities out there, apply to them.
Right.
See, and you guys are kind of that I wouldn't say negotiator, but that facilitator to help make this happen.
Right, and we guide them through the process. We're there to answer any questions. We're there as a resource for the family.
I want to kind of dig in. Maybe somebody's watching this morning, and again, we generously appreciate our friends here from At Your Side Home Care here today. Awesome husband and wife team taking care of those in our community with needs. I'll kind of direct this at you all. To somebody out there watching this morning, we've talked a lot about dementia care. Can you just highlight, the services? Who would be the ideal client? I know people probably have a pretty good idea, but who may be the ideal client that if they have this need, they call you?
So our services are basically coming into the home, sending a caregiver. We provide assistance with activities of daily living, which is bathing assistance, medication reminders, also doing independent activities of daily living, which is light housekeeping, running errands, things like that. So that's what we do in the home. In our case, we have a wonderful dementia program called Dementia Wise, which is actually recognized by the Alzheimer's Association, which a lot of other companies do not have. And that's why we were actually approved for this program through Guide, because of our actual dementia program, which is recognized as being a great tool for caregivers, and all our caregivers go through that course as well. So these are basically the services that we can provide.
Yeah, it sounds like, if there's someone that has someone at home and there's needs, give At Your Side Home Care a call first, and more than likely they'll be able to help you. If not, I know that they'll point you in the right direction. Also, it's great, you talked about this Guide program. These are government programs that are out there that are available. And that's just another step to show the compassionate care that you guys have. You think about that, because there are programs. It reminds me of back when I had my IT company. We would go in and do work for nonprofits, and I would find out that they were spending tens of thousands of dollars on software, and they had another vendor. And I wouldn't bash the other vendor, but when they called us for a reason, right? And I would say, well, how much did y'all pay for this? Oh, that was like a $4,000. I was like, that can be through a company called TechSoup, which benefits nonprofits. You could have paid $10 for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about y'all's business. You're finding ways to assist people, not just what you offer in-house, but also saying, hey, look, the government has this program. I think that's really good.
Yeah, our goal is always to find resources that you won't have to pay out of pocket for. It's costly to get home care, and we understand that the community may not be able to afford it. So we're always looking for other pay sources and other services that we can refer them to as well, because we're here as a resource to them as well.
I would encourage anyone, too, this morning, if you're interested, or maybe you know someone who needs help in the home, you can visit their website. Go to atyoursidehomecare.com /Texas/Walker.html. The easiest way to do it, if you go to Google, just search for At Your Side Home Care Walker County, and that will take you right to the page. And you'll know that you're there because we'll see that beautiful picture of you guys right there on the front. I just showed the website a few moments ago. But again, Alta just talked about this 24/7 care, companionship. Think about how many folks are lonely. When my mother was a nurse, she did not leave for lunch ever. There was not one time, and I said she went almost 40 years. She did not leave for lunch, and the reason is because she had such a heart for the patients, that there were many that didn't have family. She would spend her lunches every day sitting with the residents, and she was well loved because of that. And that's where I saw the compassion my mother had. And there's folks out there that don't have anybody to talk to. This is a service that you guys help provide. We've talked about the dementia care, which is so important as well. The respite services. Everybody needs a break. They need that time to kind of refocus and recharge. Think about things like grooming and hygiene.
Yeah.
These are all things that we take for granted. My father, we lost him last July, but I think about my dad when I'd see him. I mean, he'd look like Santa. I was even joking with him. I said, Dad, you look like Santa Claus. He's like, well, I haven't come in here and trimmed my beard yet, But these are things that people need. You mentioned the light housekeeping, meal prep, medication reminders.
Yes.
Another
Medication
important one.
is very important, because if you don't stay on top of it, you can over-medicate. Some of the doctors may not know what other doctors are prescribing, so we can also do you have to fill me in. You have to do the interaction. We can see if the medications interact with each other. We have a lot of that. So we can provide those options as well.
And to Alta's point, we also have our own RN that we can reach out to and say, hey, we've got a very difficult case. Can you review the medications, right? It's one thing that doctor prescribes them, and they may be coming from a home health, but we always double check to make sure that there's no interaction of medications, and to make sure that they have the right regimen. And we put that as part of their care plan. So when we build our care plan, it's very meticulous, it's very customized to the client. Not only are we building activities within that care plan, we're also building tasks for the caregivers to complete. So we are making sure that caregiver has access to it when they are in the home. So they know exactly what needs to be done while they're there, when it needs to be done, and to make sure chart everything so that family has access to it, because we do have a family portal access that family can access, and they can see everything that's going on with their loved one throughout the day. But it also becomes a part of their medical record. So if something is escalating and we're seeing deviations from their care plans, we can start to escalate to their home health, or if they're on hospice, we communicate with the hospice. So we partner, with their other health care providers as well to escalate, because most of the time we're there longer than, let's say, home health, which may come once or twice a week for an hour, right? Or hospice that may come maybe daily or every other day for an hour. So we are there maybe at a 4-hour minimum, or depending on the needs of care, we're there much longer, and we can start to communicate the escalation of disease or whatever the illness might be in that aspect of it. But I also want to kind of touch back on the pay sources as well.
Yeah, please.
Because when we talk about resources, GUIDE is just one of it. We also are credentialed with the VA, so we service a lot of veterans, and we work very closely with the VA. So if there's veterans out there that are looking for this type of care, reach out to us, and we'll work with you to work with the VA, and work with the social workers to make sure that they have the correct information on what they need to submit for, to make sure they're registered in the system, and seeing PCPs at the VA. That's the most important thing. We also accept long-term care. A lot of people don't know that they have long-term care insurance. That's one thing we come across, and now we always ask, because they may have gotten it 10, 20 years ago and may have totally forgotten about it. And we always ask, because it does cover long-term care in the home. And most of the time they will have elimination period. But if they've had home health, or if they have stayed in rehab, those periods of time counts towards elimination period. So that's the last thing I kind of wanted to touch upon.
Yeah, that's good. As you're talking, I get the sense, and this is what I love. It's not just a number whenever folks are choosing to utilize your services. You're a person, and that's so important, especially, in the healthcare industry nowadays. It's kind of like, let's get people in and let's get them out. That's not the way it is with you guys. There has to be that element of compassion to make it very successful, and that's why y'all have had great success here. Before we go, I've enjoyed this interview. I've enjoyed getting to know you guys a little bit more. I just wanted to highlight, as we always lift up our community, you talked a little bit earlier about choosing to be here in Huntsville, and maybe I'll ask you this question. For you guys, what made Huntsville the place that said, this is where we want to be?
Well, I will tell you. It's definitely the scenery. I don't know. I love seeing cows every day and deers. I just love nature now. I didn't have that in New York. So
She's still scared
I'm
of the bugs.
amazed by some of the things I am scared of. Like the bugs. I'm not a fan
Sorry,
of
my
the
daughter
bugs.
was screaming because of ladybug. I was like, they're the friendliest bug. She's like, no, Daddy, going nuts yesterday on the way home.
I agree with her.
So, true story, Alta sprained her leg because she thought the bug was chasing her.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm a screamer and a runner. I call him the exterminator.
There you go. All right.
But I love Huntsville. I love the food. I love, he kind of gets mad at me because I love going to the antique stores.
There you go.
I'm
All
always
right.
like, okay, I'm going to sneak away. I'm going out for lunch. I'll be back. And I go to the antique stores.
How old is y'all's little one, if you don't mind me asking?
4 years old.
4 years, yeah. So my wife and I loved going to all those antiques. I don't know what, I don't ever buy really much of anything, but I like going. I guess my wife calls me a hoarder. When she met me, she's like, I had books in my living room everywhere, and it was like a true bachelor pad. I mean, we had a flood in 2010, and I never finished redoing the floors. Like, I ripped all, and my idea was to stain the concrete, and she's like, this is not going to work for me. And then she goes into my living room, and I have books just stacked to the ceiling. And she's like, I said, just do whatever you want with them. Because I was frustrated, right? All right. I said, just do whatever you want, sweetheart. Well, I come home and they're all gone. I said, where are all my books at? She goes, I took them to Goodwill. You told me to. Well, like 2 weeks later, I realized my grandpa's Bible was in the middle of those.
goodness.
That was my fault. So I've already forgiven. It was my fault, sweetheart. But it's funny you mentioned this. So we developed this passion for like going in antique stores. And the reason I ask about how old your little one is, we don't get to do that anymore because we have, our 18-month-old and our 3-year-old. You don't take those kids into the antique stores.
Well, ours
does.
loves to go because of the cars.
Okay, there you go.
So he gets a car every time he goes.
Okay,
with
all
me.
right. So y'all have worked out a game plan then to make it work.
Exactly.
All right. Well, hey, I've enjoyed again getting to know you guys. If you see Ali and our friends here, if you see them, Alta and Ali around town, go up and just tell them thank you for being here in Huntsville. And I want to say on behalf of our platform, thank you guys for choosing Huntsville. Y'all found a need here. You've met it, and things are really working out for y'all. I did want to ask one final question, and I'll leave it with you on this one, Ali. Kind of future plans. What are you looking forward to? What are some things you're thinking about in the future?
Just expanding, addressing more needs of the community, trying to figure out other ways that we can incorporate more resources into our portfolio. Because one thing we've noticed is that private self-funded pay is very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And we would hate to keep putting that out there as, an option, so to speak. So adding additional resources, ways we can find to provide care at a minimal cost. And that's really the goal for our future. And for our 2025 goal, our guide program, we are making sure that the word gets out. We know that Medicare is going to send out letters at some point, but they've been sending that out since 2024 and no one's received it.
Yeah.
So we can't just wait for that to happen. So the goal is to continue to get the word out so that people that don't know about it get to know about it, and continue to increase our hiring. That's one thing we're really focusing on for 2025 is to hire a lot more caregivers and making sure we hire the right ones. I mean, our hiring process is very stringent. So just to kind of give a background, which we didn't really get into.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that too. So.
Alta and I come from HR backgrounds with a total of 40 years of HR experience between the two of us. We know how to hire, and we know what good hiring looks like. And when we are interviewing people, we don't interview over the phone. We may do some initial phone interviews, but we always do in person. We like to get eyes on the caregivers to see what they're like. Because these caregivers will be going in someone's home, and we want to make sure that they get someone that's going to mesh with the family and become a part of their family, and someone they can feel comfortable with, right? But furthermore, we're doing background checks, national background checks, to make sure there are no felonies on records. We're doing 9-panel drug testing to make sure there's no abuse of drugs. We have liability insurances. We have cybersecurity insurance. As you know, that's a big thing right now.
Yeah, that's about the time I got out of the industry. It's like done.
Lucky you.
Yeah, so all of our clients are protected, under our insurances. We have auto insurances that protects our clients in case our caregiver is driving them. So we've taken a lot of additional precautions into protecting our clients and our caregivers. We often forget about the caregivers, but they're also protected under all of our insurances. We have workers' compensation in case they get hurt while they're in the client's home. And that's one thing I would say, while it's great that you may find someone on your own, just be aware of the risks.
Yeah, and the liability. There's so much liability, big time. Yeah.
Right. It may be cheaper, but in the long run, if something were to happen, it could get very costly.
Yeah, when I had my IT, but I had a little IT company for 14 years before I got into the sports broadcasting, and and now doing this. But we carried a pretty hefty policy when other guys didn't, because we knew we were going into people's homes, we were going into their businesses, especially on the medical side when we were servicing medical clinics, and we didn't. It never happened often, but somebody, well, this guy down the street, is half of what you guys are. I was like, well, yeah, it's going to be that one time that guy comes in and plugs in something wrong and your house burns down.
Yep.
Was that extra $40 worth it to come to us? And people would usually say, yes, we'll come to you. So go by and check these guys out. Let them help you. It's at your side home care, doing a great job here. in our community. Thank y'all for coming in. Y'all are friends of the
Thank
program
you.
now.
Thank you for having us.
You bet. And be on the lookout, too. We want to encourage you, go to our website at hellohuntsvilletx.com and make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. That's going out to over 2,100 people in our community now each week. And we will have a featured article with y'all on there as well, if that's okay. So,
Definitely. Thank you.
all right.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to give away some cafe. Y'all been to Cafe Texan?
Yes.
All right, here
we
you go. No,
have.
I'm just kidding.
No.
I got to give this one away to the audience today. So,
We love it.
Alta was like, "Oh, thank you." No, we'll have it next time, Alta. All right, but Cafe Texan, we're giving away. Kyle's won it a few times. By the way, Kyle's we call him the brisketeer of Huntsville. Have you ever had a good brisket, Alta?
Oh my God, this is why I have gained weight since I've been here.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I eat too much.
Well, this guy over here, Kyle, will help that cause. We call him the brisketeer of Huntsville for a reason. Makes the best brisket you've ever had. But we appreciate him. Hey, we are giving away this Cafe Texan gift card. All you have to do today is text in your name on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. That number's 936-339-0139. Again, we appreciate At Your Side Home Care for being with us today. Alta and Ali Naki, thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
You bet. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. More to come as we close it out in just a few moments. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. Imagine a professional office space that elevates your business image without the corporate price tag. Huntsville Executive Office Suites are coming soon to Lake Road. Enjoy high-speed internet, a fully equipped kitchen, and 24/7 secure access. Take advantage of our live answering service, advertising on our outdoor video sign, and a convenient location just a quarter mile from SHSU. Lease terms start at 6 months. Call Raven Property Management at 936-225-4378. Huntsville Executive Office Suites. Grow your business without outgrowing your budget.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
This harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville. Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
This is Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
All right, little 840 as we continue on this journey this morning. Thanks for hanging out with us here on Good Morning Huntsville. Shout out Kyle Kreiner, the OG of Huntsville, the brisketeer. I guess it would be the OB, the original brisketeer, the OB. Yeah, we're not, I was just thinking that. Kyle said don't put the other initials behind it. You ever been playing basketball at the gym lately? Anyways, welcome in. We appreciate all of you. How a great interview there, and it really enjoyed getting to know Ollie and her husband, or Ollie and his wife, Alta. Wonderful folks doing some great work here in Huntsville. We appreciate them so much. Thanks for being back with us as we continue on today on this Tactical Tuesday. Shout out Jason Thompson, who was with us earlier. He had an appointment that he had to get to, so just me. I did want to say hello. I promised you guys that we'd say hello to all of you. Many of you are joining us online. You can do like Kyle. You can come in here and hang out with us. I always enjoy when Kyle comes in. He comes in, hangs out with us. It makes us feel like, man, we actually got people in here, So it's good to have Kyle hanging out with us. He also texted in this morning. Kyle's one of our, I say Quentin's our number one engager. I'd put Kyle Kreiner right there at number 2, man. He's always helping promote. We appreciate you, Kyle, and thanks for all that you do. He's here in studio. Jamie Saucier over at Saucier Woodworks hanging out with us as well. How about Autumn Wheaton? And I love what Autumn says. She says, good morning, Huntsville family. That's what it is here in our community. It's all about family. And a big shout out to Autumn. We appreciate you. Jennifer Augustinetti chiming in today. She's saying, good morning. It's a terrific Tuesday. Y'all have a blessed day. Enjoy the warmth while we have it. Kyle, he said 80 hours. I remember my first part-time job. Kyle works his tail off, man. Joy Daly with us this morning. Good morning to you, Miss Joy. How about Quentin Glaze? There he is, our number one engager, right there saying good morning. So we appreciate them. Autumn, man, I like this, Autumn. She was saying, I love this show. It's like sitting. I like sitting on the front porch, minus the heat mosquitoes, with friends, just chatting. She said that's what the show is like. The randomness of the live show makes it more inviting and real. Man, we need to maybe start making lights flicker in here. Oh, what's going on with the electricity today? We'll make it more random. But Autumn, I appreciate you. You've been such a great friend of our program. Hey, it's my English teacher. Wow, from back in the day. Seems like it was just yesterday. Miss Martha Woodley is joining me this morning. She is a retired educator, and I just mentioned earlier, I wasn't even sucking up to her, Kyle. I mentioned earlier how much of a heart I have for people in the nursing and healthcare industry that take care of people, and also teachers. And there she is, Miss Woodley. So good to see you this morning. How about Leslie King joining us? Good morning to you, Leslie. Great to have you on today. My sister, Rebecca. Good morning, sister. I love you. She's joining us. Don Foote is joining us. Good morning, Don. Thank you for saying hello. It is so great to have you on this morning. The grandmother of Huntsville, Carolyn Gibson. Good morning to you. Karen Clark on with us today. She's saying, good morning, Huntsville. Have a blessed day. Karen, by the way, my daughter is enjoying some books, and one of them had your name in it. So I want to say thank you to your mom and dad for giving us some old books for the children, and I saw your name in one of those books, Karen. So I thought that was pretty cool. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. Shamim joining us. Good to see you on YouTube this morning. How about El Turpening? All the way from New Waverly, Texas. Chirping in today. Good to see you, El Turpening. She's saying good morning. Adrian Hunter over at Cabins and More of Texas. Good morning to you as well. And many others also. Autumn, by the way, said, is Kyle your, quote, live studio audience? Yeah, we have 3 seats in here for a live audience. So, Autumn, if you ever want to come hang out with us, if you're not working, you could come in here and hang out too. Kyle is also, he's our cameraman in training. So if you noticed earlier when that interview and the camera started going off to the side, that was Kyle because I don't know how to communicate very well. So Kyle is in training. It was an unpaid internship this morning for Kyle Kreiner, so we appreciate Kyle being here today as well. A couple of things today that I did want to go over as we try to do on our shows is talk about this day in history and different things that are happening, not just in the community, but throughout the world. Hey, how about this? On this day in 1789, electors chose George Washington as the first president of the United States. The good news, there was no Capitol building yet for opponents to break into. So there was nothing there for George Washington back in the day. Yeah, and Kyle just had a good thing. He said, but did he win the popular vote? I don't know how big the popular vote would have been back then. He said, here's what he said. These were from the local newspaper at the time. He said that he would not repeat the mistakes of the previous administration. Wow. Can you imagine a presidential campaign without all the debates and all those commercials? Of course, they weren't invented yet. There was a guy back in the day, Kyle, his name was Ezekiel Trump. He called the whole election a fraud and fake news. And, boy, think about how tough it must have been for him to be elected and not have a previous administration to blame. That's about as political as we get. It's just good fun this morning. So that was on your day. George Washington, 1789, elected as the first president of the United States. 1801, John Marshall was sworn in as the Chief Justice of the United States. Pretty cool. And then, ironically, though, so check this out. 1801, John Marshall sworn in as the Chief Justice. Ironically, the next day, John Justice was sworn in as the country's first Chief Marshal. I'm just kidding. That didn't really happen. 1847, the very first telegraph company was established in Dash, Maryland. Is that real? Dash. That's like Morse code. Dash. And telegraphs were sent in Morse code, right? So if that's the case, this is saying that in 1847, U.S. Telegraph Company was established in Dash, Maryland. That cannot. Is there really a town called Dash, Maryland? No, I don't think there really is, man. That's what it's saying. I don't know if that's true or not. But we do know the year. That is true. It's 1847, the U.S. Telegraph Company. That's got to be I just searched for Dash, Maryland. It doesn't exist. 1941, the USO was founded. Bob Hope, a big advocate of the USO, the United Service Organization, was designed to offer services to servicemen and women that are in the service. Boy, 1954, and we're talking about February, the Drifters recorded White Christmas. It was after Christmas. They were already thinking about Christmas again and recorded the song White Christmas, 1954, here in the month of February. And and on this date in 1957, the very first electric portable typewriter went on sale in Syracuse. Much more reliable and dependable than the diesel version that they had at the time. So the electric typewriter, portable typewriter was on. Hey, today National Homemade Soup Day, National Create a Vacuum Day. I don't know how you create a vacuum. and National National Thank a Mail Carrier Down laughing. It's National Thank a Mail Carrier Day today as well. So if you see your well, hey, the guys that deliver the mail, you got to give them credit. They're working hard. You know, yeah. Give those guys a credit. Give them a little credit. I always give the Amazon guys a bottle of water if I see them. You know, they're working hard. Boxing. Check this out. Oscar De La Hoya, 52 years old. You know, he's a boxer, but he's always asked the question in public: boxers or briefs? He's getting really tired of people asking him that. Of course, the last time he was in the ring, though, he was a brief boxer. So Oscar De La Hoya, 52 today. How about Clint Black? Man, this one is crazy. 63 years old today, Clint Black, which is just crazy. Dan Quayle, the former VP, he's 78 today. John Shuck turning 85. Dave Ketchum turning 97 today. He played Agent 13 in those old Get Smart TV series. That is crazy to think that he is 97. Texas has become, few things you need to know, Texas has become the first state to ban DeepSeek on government devices. This is the new Chinese AI company. It actually sent NVIDIA stocks tumbling because this AI model is supposed to be far more powerful than ChatGPT and other AI models. But, of course, the U.S. worried about information leaking out to other governments. Texas becoming the first state again to ban DeepSeek application on government devices. In Florida, they caught a woman on video hurling a commemorative first date brick through her now ex's window. I didn't even know you could get a commemorative first date brick. But apparently things didn't work out for this lady, so she decided to return it through the window to her ex. Little House on the Prairie getting a reboot on Netflix. I know Kyle's very excited about this one. We're going to have Kyle's like shaking his head. Not at all, man. I took my mom up to the original Little House on the Prairie areas up in South Dakota whenever my sister lived up there. But Little House on the Prairie getting that reboot on Netflix. The new trend up in Canada is when the Toronto Raptors, I heard about this last night, host an American team and the U.S. national anthem plays, the crowd boos. Of course, the NBA, there used to be two teams up in Canada. Now it's just the Toronto Raptors. That is the only team now in the NBA that is in Canada that's outside of the U.S. The crowd booing because of the tariffs that President Trump had put in place, but now he has paused those tariffs because Canada is now agreeing to work with the U.S. to help secure the border as well. Also, the same thing happened in Mexico. The Mexican government has sent 10,000 troops to the border after Trump said, look, if we can come to an agreement, I'll pause the tariffs there as well. So work is getting done. The University of Iowa honored the basketball great Caitlin Clark over the weekend by retiring her number and hoisting it up in the rafters. An incredible college basketball young lady and now playing in the WNBA, doing a great thing. The number one movie over the weekend, Dog Man, it pulled in $36 million. Nebraska Cornhuskers head coach Matt Rule says Nebraska will likely cancel their spring game so other coaches don't watch and steal his good players. So spring games. Now the NIL causing spring games to get canceled. Mel B rejoining America's Got Talent for season 20. Heidi Klum off the show. She is departing. Mel B rejoining 20 years of America's Got Talent. That is crazy as well. I remember the first reality show when I was growing up. What started all of this was American Idol. American Idol. I think Survivor was after American Idol. American Idol, I believe, was the first real TV reality show. It's still going as well. Hey, the annual Girl Scout cookie sale, they're on pre-order mode now. The full-blown sale begins a week from Friday. And the Treasury Department has given Elon Musk team access to the federal payment system. So Elon there doing some work for our government. Costco and the Teamsters have reached a tentative agreement to avoid a strike. That's good because we know when I go in to buy a ton of my children's yogurt, I don't want the price to be through the roof. So there's a good deal there. And then finally, season 27 of The Voice premiered last night. John Legend, Michael Bublé returned it. I like that name. I just like Michael Bublé. I wish I had a cool. My last name's just hip. Michael Bublé. Michael Bublé returned as judges. Adam Levine, he's back and in the red chair for the first time since departing in 2019. And then country star Kelsey Ballerini also made her full-time coaching debut. I will be honest, I have no idea who she is because I don't keep up with all that stuff. But I do know Adam Levine's back. I always liked Adam Levine on The Voice. But I just mentioned earlier 20 years of America's Got Talent. How about 27 seasons of The Voice? Oh, man. Do not feel like I am getting any younger. Today's impossible question: what marine creature has a feeding organ known as Aristotle's lantern? Yeah. Kyle knows. Yeah. What marine creature has a feeding organ known? Am I saying that? Aristotle's lantern? Aristotle's lantern. We'll head over to the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line as we do have a winner today. We'll ask them that impossible question, see if they get it right.
Hi, you reached...
Well, we didn't reach you because you didn't answer the phone. So we're very, very sorry there, but you are denied. You were not the winner today. So no soup for you today. No soup for you. Let's try another number here as the randomizer has selected. Again, you can enter in all week to win. All you got to do is text in your name, 0 Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339. You know what? I'm going to do something different. Now, Kyle, I'm sorry, you're not eligible because you're in studio. Kyle will get it next time. If you call us right now, you're going to be the winner. If you call us at 936-339-0139, the very first person to call, I'm going to give away $25 to Cafe Texan. So call us at 936-339-0139. And you are the winner today. We have a lot of people that watch this show, but they are nervous about calling. They're nervous about texting. Someone even told me, they're like, we want to win. Oh, look, there we go. There it is. And, of course, now I'm doing this and my system over here isn't ringing. Oh, my system's not ringing. All right, hold on. Here we go. Hello, can I help you? Hello? Who is this? Jennifer who?
Augustinetti.
Oh, Jennifer Augustinetti, the winner today. We don't, for some reason, here, Jennifer, I'm going to call you back. Jennifer, all right? Let me call you back because you didn't come through my system here. So let's call Jennifer back. There you go. Man, I thought Kyle was going to bite myself here because I was worried. Look, now someone else is calling in. Was that you, Kyle?
Hello.
Hey, Jennifer, congratulations. You're the winner today. Someone else was just calling, but you already called ahead of them. $25 Cafe Texan gift card coming your way today, Jennifer.
Thank you. Me and my bestie Lee enjoy having breakfast over there.
Well, I've got it, and I will have it. If you want to come by, we'll have it here at the church for you. Hey, but you don't have to answer this to win, so you can get it wrong. But what marine creature has a feeding organ known as Aristotle's lantern? Do you have any idea?
I don't know.
It's something.
A jellyfish?
It's something in the sea.
Not a jellyfish, a starfish?
It's a sea.
Sea anemone?
It's kind of the
sea
noise.
Urchin?
It's kind of the noise you make when you get out of your car, like sea urchin. The sea.
Interesting.
The sea urchin. Yeah, I'm looking at a picture. That's kind of weird. Yeah, that thing looks weird. So the sea urchin has Aristotle's lantern. That is their feeding organ. All right, Jennifer, congratulations. It's very useful information. You needed to know this today, all right?
I sure needed to know it.
All right.
I'll remember that next time I'm on Jeopardy or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, have a blessed day. Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Y'all too.
Right, bye. There you go. I thought it was that fish that had that little thing that dangles in front of him. But that's not Aristotle's lantern. Yeah, I thought that's what it was too. So There you go, Jennifer Augustinetti. I was surprised that our phone didn't ring back here on the system, though. It normally does. So, anyways, hey, that'll wrap it up. Great day today on the show. Appreciate Kyle Kreiner hanging out with us. By the way, if you're still listening, please don't call the number. We're not going to answer. Cafe Texan going to Jennifer Augustinetti today. Thank you all. We did have a few more calls actually started to come in too, but Jennifer was the first one. She got it. We may do that from time to time also, where if you just call us, you'll win instead of us calling you. That'll wrap it up. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Our friends from Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools on the show. And as I end every show, reminding you this morning, Huntsville, that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Till next time, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back at it 7:30 tomorrow morning here on your morning show as we lift up and inspire you. God bless you, Huntsville. See you later.